everyone, and welcome in. Ready to dive deep?
Always. What have we got today?
Well, you guys have sent in tons of requests about birthdays, which I gotta say, I kind of love. It feels like everyone's curious about what makes people tick, right?
That's a universal mystery, isn't it?
Mhm.
Trying to decode those birthday personalities.
Exactly. So we're cracking the code today with a look at January 11th, and our trusty source for this deep dive is Adam's birthday book. Have you ever seen this one?
I have. It's not exactly your typical astrology guide, though.
Not at all. It's definitely unconventional. But that's what makes this fun, right?
Totally. It's like getting a fresh perspective.
Exactly. So, okay, January 11th, the book calls it the Day of Evaluation.
The day of evaluation.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it's intriguing.
Oh,
Right? Attention totally does. And maybe a little intimidating. Like, are January 11th people judging me right now?
Maybe. Just a little.
I'm kidding.
But, the book really emphasizes the analytical nature of people born on this day.
Okay, so they're thinkers. Analytical types.
Oh, definitely. They're all about objectivity, trying to see things from all sides.
I can see that.
And they have this knack for spotting anything phony or insincere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can sniff out a fake a mile away.
So they're the friend you take shopping when you need a brutally honest opinion.
Exactly. The book even mentions that people often seek them out for advice because they're so discerning.
They're like the ultimate truth tellers.
They just have a way of cutting through the noise and getting to the heart of the matter.
I like that. Cutting through the noise.
It's a gift. But
There's always a but, right?
well, there might be a downside to all that analyzing, too.
Oh, I bet. Like, what? Tell me more.
Think about it. Too much analysis can lead to overthinking
Sure.
and maybe a bit of inflexibility.
Oh, like that one friend who just can't let go of an argument?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the book actually warns about this a little bit. They call it hard-headedness.
Hard-headedness.
Oh.
So they're stubborn.
Well, it's not just about being stubborn. It's more about having strong convictions.
Okay, I can see that.
Like once they've decided something is right or wrong, good luck changing their mind.
I know a few people like that. It can be tough,
It definitely can.
especially if you don't agree with them on something.
Exactly. But, the book actually frames this trait in a positive light, too.
Really?
Yeah, they say this strong sense of right and wrong translates into incredible dedication and loyalty.
So they're the ride or die friends, the ones who always have your back.
Exactly. They're the ones who stand by their beliefs and the people they care about no matter what.
Okay, I can get behind that. That's a good quality to have.
It definitely is. It's all about balance.
Balance is key. I like that. But okay, this next part I did not see coming. The book talks about health advice for January 11th, folks. And get this, it says they need to loosen up when it comes to food.
Loosen up with food. That's interesting.
Right. It seems counterintuitive for people who analyze everything.
You'd think they'd be all about strict diets and calorie counting, wouldn't you?
Exactly. But I guess it goes back to that idea of balance. Even the most analytical minds need to enjoy life a little.
Absolutely.
Maybe they're overthinking their meal plans.
Could be.
We've all been there.
Exactly. Overthinking is a universal experience.
Ain't that the truth? But okay, things get even more interesting when we bring in numerology and tarot.
Oh, this is where it gets really fun.
Right. So the book mentions the number 2 and the moon as being significant for January 11th. Any thoughts on those?
Well, in numerology, the number 2 is often associated with cooperation, diplomacy, partnerships.
Partnerships. So maybe this whole day of evaluation thing is about evaluating relationships too, not just ideas.
I think you're onto something. The number 2 is all about finding harmony and balance with others.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the moon, though? That feels like a whole different energy.
It is. And it adds another layer to the mix.
Like what?
Well, the moon is often linked to intuition and emotions.
So they're not just all logic and analysis.
Exactly. There's a whole other side to them.
Ooh, this is getting juicy. Tell me more.
The moon's all about tapping into those feelings, the subconscious, those deeper currents that run beneath the surface.
Okay, so we're talking intuition, vibes, gut feelings.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
a whole other way of understanding the world. Not just through logic and reason, but through feeling and instinct.
Wow. So January 11th, folks, they've got this analytical mind, but also this deep well of intuition. That's a powerful combination.
It really is. And it kind of makes you think about how those two sides might work together.
Yeah. Like maybe their analytical side helps them make sense of their intuition.
Exactly. Or maybe their intuition helps guide their analysis.
Ooh, I like that. So it's not just about being logical or intuitive. It's about finding that sweet spot where those two sides meet.
That's the dance.
I love that. The dance of the mind and the heart, or maybe the mind and the moon in this case.
Exactly. And speaking of interesting combinations, Adam's birthday book also connects January 11th with the Justice Tarot card.
Oh, yes. The Justice card. That one always makes me think of like a courtroom drama or
A
something.
little intense, right?
Just a tad. But what's the real meaning behind it? How does it fit into everything we've been talking about?
Well, it's not quite as dramatic as a courtroom, thankfully, but it does embody that sense of fairness and balance that we keep coming back to.
Right. Like those January 11th folks are all about balance.
They really are. And the Justice card's all about making well-considered decisions, taking responsibility for your actions, weighing things carefully.
So it's not about being judgmental or anything like that. It's more about seeking truth and fairness.
Exactly. It's about striving for that sense of equilibrium, making sure everyone gets a fair shake.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Now I'm picturing a scale instead of a gavel.
Much better visual. And it ties back to that strong moral compass we talked about earlier.
Right. Like if my January 11th friend calls me out on something, I know they're not doing it to be mean. They genuinely believe they're doing the right thing.
Exactly. It all comes from that place of integrity and a commitment to truth.
I love that. Okay, this is all making so much sense now. Adam's birthday book is full of surprises. But before we wrap up, I got to ask about the health advice. Because what's a personality deep dive without a little health tips thrown in?
Right. Got to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
And this one's actually really important. Adam's birthday book emphasizes the importance of taking breaks for January 11th folks.
Taking breaks. Why is that so important for them?
Well, think about it. They're always on the go, always analyzing, always evaluating. Their minds are constantly working overtime.
Oh, I totally get it. It's like they need time to recharge and decompress.
Exactly. And the book specifically mentions rest and relaxation. They need those moments to just switch off and unwind.
Yeah, we're all living in this always-on culture, but for someone who's naturally wired to analyze everything, taking those breaks is probably crucial.
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance between mental stimulation and mental downtime, which is something we could all use a little more these days.
Preach. Couldn't agree more. So to sum up our deep dive into the fascinating world of January 11th, it seems like these individuals are the insightful, loyal, and discerning friends we all need in our lives.
Absolutely. They bring a unique perspective with their analytical minds and their strong sense of justice.
They're the ones who will tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it.
Exactly. But they'll also be there for you no matter what, with unwavering loyalty and support.
And they might even have some pretty amazing intuition, too.
Don't forget about that intuition. It's part of what makes them so special.
It's like they have this whole other layer of understanding the world.
They do.
Yeah.
And that's something to celebrate.
Absolutely. But like anyone else, they have their quirks and areas where they can grow right.
Of course. No one's perfect.
And one of those areas for growth, as Adam's birthday book points out, is cultivating a bit more open-mindedness.
Open-mindedness, that's such an important one.
Right. It's about being willing to see things from different perspectives, being open to new ideas and possibilities.
Exactly. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and embracing the unknown.
And on that note, we're wrapping up our deep dive into the enigmatic world of January 11th. Big thanks to Adam's birthday book for being our guide today.
Such a fun, unconventional source.
It really was. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you for listening. We love exploring these birthday mysteries with you. But now we want to hear from you. Do you know any January 11th folks who fit the bill? Are they the analytical truth tellers, the loyal friends, the intuitive souls Adam's birthday book describes? Head over to our socials and share your stories. We're dying to hear them. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those perspectives open.